Your boo. You're a boo.
Oh.
Don't do that. It's contagious. If I let him in, will you guys not chase each other around the garage?
Oh, you know I will.
Bing bong.
Yep, there's my notification that you're live.
Come on. No, come on. Oh. Really? Hey, not so loud, you guys. Hey!
Howdy. Welcome to the live Q&A for the month of November.
Wait here and see if we can get some more people up. Oh, they left.
Jupiter,
Hi.
come here.
Goober.
None of that. None
Big
of that.
goober dog. Oh, careful. Careful.
We can put them in the house if you want to.
Keep.
Howdy.
There we go, bud.
Welcome to the month of November's live Q&A / podcast.
Talk slot cars and all kinds of good stuff.
Slot cars, slot car racing,
Racing.
slot car news.
If we know any.
I got a little bit.
We'll sit here and let some more people join. Hopefully we've tried to pitch this so we could get a lot of people today so we can get a good conversation going.
Yes. That's what we're here for. Welcome. Say hi, let us know where you're
Where you're watching from.
if you're racing. Any questions you might have that we can start answering before we start on the news and the talking? Howdy, howdy.
Wait for people to type in their...
For those of you that just joined, hello. Let us know where you're watching from.
Careful.
And if you're racing,
Or been racing.
or been racing, or raced today, since most of us do it in the morning.
Hello, Sarah.
Wisconsin. Howdy, Darren. You do any racing recently? Thank you. Well, he should say thank you.
He's a goober. He's an overgrown goober dog.
Well, look at that. Hello, everybody. Well, I think now's a good time to start talking.
Yeah, we can start talking. So,
So,
what do you got for...
bit of news. Last month, we really got in a good-sized conversation about the Auto World AMP chassis, talking about what bodies they'll fit, and everybody's excited for them. I did some research recently, and I found that you can start ordering sets from Auto World online. They haven't hit stores yet, but you can start ordering and pre-ordering sets for the Auto World AMP chassis.
I'm pretty
you cannot
sure,
get them individually yet.
I'm pretty sure you can pre-order at ProTinkerer.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
he'll probably have pre-orders too.
So you can order from Pro Tinkerer, or you can order from
the Auto World site.
The Auto World site themselves. If you're really wanting to get your hands on one of the new chassis. I think us personally in the Slot Car Crazy
we're gonna wait to see
crew. We're gonna wait till they come out individually.
Hopefully they come out individually. They should.
But we'll be.
As soon as we get one on hands on one, we'll have to do a review of one.
Yes, racing review and up close review. But that's the information I have on the amp chassis after doing some research. Slacker table that I hoist up in my garage when it's out of the way. That's nice. I've seen people do that. That's always cool for nice for saving space.
Like, Jupiter.
8 foot by a little shy of 4.
Stop.
That's awesome. Anything that you can race on.
Yep. Any size table will do.
Oh yeah.
Whether you're just tinkering around or having a couple friends over.
Aside from that, new news. Hopac season is done. The last live that we had was the last one for 2024. We'll be picking back up with Hopac Racing in 2025, which all year long it got better. The views got better all year long. It seemed to really pick up towards the end. And
yep. We had good watching all the way through, except for maybe one.
Except for one, yeah. But it seems like all of you really like the Hopac Racing, which makes sense. It's fast and it's fun to watch, and there's drama for sure.
Well, they're probably pulling the biggest group of guys in the Northwest. So between the Portland and Seattle, so
it's going to be a 4-lane to each slot. It's going to have its own power pack. Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
That's the best way to go.
So currently in construction or just modification? Oh, thank you to him. Yeah. He congratulations on the new location.
Oh yeah. Yep. Glad we finally got the garage. Still organizing a little bit here and there, but it's pretty much done. Gotta organize the toolbox and stuff and whatnot.
That's all him. All the wall behind you, everything. It's all him. But yeah. So cool news on the Hopac watching. That last live got over 132,000 total views, which is an absolute record setter for Slot Car Crazy.
We know the audio's not the greatest, so we're working on some new wireless Bluetooth mics for that, so that'll get better. We'll probably continue with that. We're hoping to have those by the fray, so our audio will be a lot better. And we can do
construction
a lot more comments and whatnot during racing and whatnot. But so
audio will improve, and then I've got plans now that I'm becoming a bigger part of this to improve the picture quality as well and the viewership and how we do things, and hopefully I can have those done up by the fray too, and so we can give you guys a really good picture and audio for the fray. Definitely going to be announcing the fray A main for the first time this year.
I'd have to say I think we'll start. I was thinking about it, and we'll start like maybe the first couple of mains just to start off.
Yeah.
And then we can taper off and maybe come back for like a middle set.
Yeah.
And then definitely probably, I would have to say the last three, so probably C, B, and A.
Yeah, especially with how long individual day is, you can get a lot of...
We're going to have to recharge the mics and whatnot, because the ones that we want, I think, are 7 hours.
That's pretty good, so...
But that's not going to cover the whole charge.
Yeah,
so I think we can pull that off. And we're setting to buy 2 mics that'll link to the phone at the same time.
Yep.
So we could have one person announcing, and hopefully we could have like a guest announcer.
Yep.
Helping whoever's doing the announcing and whatnot. So hopefully we can really up our game on coverage. I think we've done it every year. Last year we had a lot of turnout for the lives we did, and there was a lot of people that couldn't make the fray last year that was actually watching the lives because they couldn't make it.
Yep.
So it was pretty cool.
We are from Washington State in the United States.
We're almost right smack dab in the middle of the state.
Almost right smack dab in the middle of the
south.
state. Yep.
But pretty much right in the middle of the state.
Yep.
We're 2 hours from Seattle and 3 hours from Spokane, which are the two major metropolitan areas in the state of Washington.
Darren, yeah, I just wanted to know if you check the poles on the AFX motors and Thunder Jets. Usually when we check poles, it's just to see if the motor's bad, to confirm. Usually, you know.
Well, yeah.
But it's usually to confirm.
Or if you find a bunch of motors, if you find a bunch of motors that you come across or something, then you can check them. If they're not new, you definitely want to check them before you do anything with them. So,
Sorry.
These two are brother and sister, so they like to play.
Sorry. We're just trying to make sure you can hear us. But if you're asking how, I can give you a brief description, but we do have videos in the channel that go deeper into detail. But yeah, the more consistent the numbers are, the more balanced the motor's gonna run, so you're gonna get smoother running.
Yeah, so basically you're gonna have to have a multimeter. So just like you use on a car or whatnot, and then set it to the 2K setting on the multimeter, and then just pull the pole and make sure you go all the way around all three poles.
Yep.
And make sure they all have the same ohm reading.
Yep.
If one of the ohm readings is off, either the motor's going bad or it is already bad, one of the two.
Yeah. But the more consistent the number, the smoother it's gonna run, the better it's gonna run. You're gonna get less vibrations, and when you're going for the best possible performance, if you're a racer, you want the most consistent numbers across the motor that you can get.
Yeah, you want them almost exact all the way around.
Yeah.
And typically, it should be a T-Jet should be 16s. You will occasionally see a 19 around, but typically they're 16, 17 should be the reading on a T-Jet arm.
Yeah.
And I believe Frey, it's 15 legal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, goes down to 15 if you can find them that way. But yeah. So.
Inline arms are a little harder. You can do it the same way. It's just a little harder to do because the prongs are smaller.
And the commutator plates are a lot smaller too.
Yeah, so it's a little harder on an inline arm, but you can do the same thing with an inline arm that you can with a pancake arm.
I'd say just out of my own head, best way to do an inline arm, if you're wanting to, you can just take it and lightly grip it in a vise.
Yeah, and then
and just pull each of them to around it as you go. But definitely, probably the easiest way of doing an inline arm if you're looking for it.
Yep.
But typically, when inline arms go, you know.
Yeah. Usually they
You know.
Well, so does a T-Jet arm. You can smoke a T-Jet arm too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I've seen a lot where inline arms, the commutator plate will peel off
will separate from
the place where it's molded into or mounted. I've had multiple arms fail that way, and it sucks because they were fast cars. They were fast.
That's because the motor was about to blow up.
Yeah.
They always say they go faster right before they blow up.
These ones kind of seem to be doing the same performance the entire time. They were just always fast.
Yeah.
Then they quit. But it's definitely different on these CAN motors, on a lot of the AFX stuff that's coming out, because you can't really own them. And if they're slow, they're slow. You just got to get another one. Or if they're slow, they're bad, and you just got to get another one. There's not a lot of troubleshooting you can do with those.
Because you could have a motor that ohms right that just doesn't want to run.
Yeah.
And we've had that issue too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it's down to the motor magnets or if it's how it's getting the power through the motor brush or what it is, but I've had some that motor that ohm fine that just will not run.
How do you like the AFX?
New.
New Orleans.
Okay, so it's got to be called the
I think
motor.
I think he's
Oh,
talking
we're
about the Mega G
I bet he's
Plus.
talking about the Mega G. Yeah.
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 I think they're all right. They're definitely a very good entry level chassis. They're relatively cheap with a good amount of speed. And I know Fosar down in Portland, they race them in their regular series
basis,
on a consistent basis. They're a really good entry level car, just like a couple of Auto World's cars are good entry level cars. Auto World requires a lot more tuning to get the best performance out of them, but if you're looking for good performance out of the package, AFX Mega G Pluses are a good option. They're just, when it comes to getting into the faster stuff with big groups, they don't perform.
Yeah, you won't want to race them up against something else.
Yeah.
In their own class, they're fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if you want to race them against something else, the Mega G was a lot better for that than the Mega G Plus is.
The Mega G had its own set of issues with the shoe hangers and not having full contact, but you could fix that with some tuning.
Yeah.
I do like the bodies that are on the Mega G Pluses.
Oh, yes, yeah, they're doing some awesome bodies.
The Camaro, you probably saw the Mustang, the Monday walk around, most recent one, I think it was.
No, it was last week's bi-weekly feature car.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, the last bi-weekly feature car we did.
Yes.
I did that one. So that's a beautiful car.
That's a really nice car. I've got one of the Camaros.
The Chevelle, of course, the GT, the Mark IV.
And then you've got the Mark IV and the GT40 that AFX has been teasing recently.
Well, yeah, the new paint scheme.
The new paint scheme on them.
I would like to see a couple more. I'd like to see them make the Porsche available as a single. Was it the Porsche? Yeah. No, the Toyota. The Toyota.
Yeah.
Because you can't buy that car individually. I'd like to see them make that an individual car that you can pick up without having to buy a set.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the other car in that set was. I think that one you can, but I don't think you can get the other one. So it's going to be interesting to see if they come out with anything new, particularly in the F1 bodies, to see if they're going to come out with another paint scheme or another body.
Than just the Alpha.
It'd
be kind of cool because most of the F1 cars now are so close.
Yeah, you can get away with having the same body.
Yeah. 67.
67? Yeah, because the one they do is a 70.
Audi slots. We haven't gotten too far. Just
getting started.
Just getting started, really. Only 17 minutes in. But what you haven't missed much. What we talked about was the AMP chassis. You can pre-order sets and order sets online, but they're not in stores, and they're not releasing the car individually yet, as far as the research I've gotten to. And then we talked about the finish of the Hopac season. Not into great detail. Ending was, for those of you that are watching it, I did secure the amateur championship this year.
Jim Mitchell won the pro.
Jim Mitchell won the pro.
Well, actually, excuse me, they were co-champs.
They were co-champs.
Yeah, Jim Mitchell and Andre Pena.
Para. Talk of a chassis change, not the full change, but the way we run them change in Hopac for next season. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but it is looking like a non-magnet car.
Well, same chassis.
Removing the traction magnets.
Traction magnets, replacing them with weights. Running a Lexan body. They haven't determined what car yet. They're thinking 917, but it might be.
Yep.
They've got some other ones that they can choose from, so that hasn't been confirmed yet.
Yeah.
And then we'll be running at 12 volts rather than 18 volts.
Yep.
So everything else on that car will be the exact same as it was when we raced it this season.
You're in the picture, guy.
What brand of track are you guys? We're using AFX on my clip together tracks on AFX, which is pretty much the best track that you can use. It's got the best connections out there.
It's got the smoothest connections, especially if you design your track right.
It's got the best pin depth on the track, on tracks for pin depth wise. And
Bless
they do
you.
have a
Bless you again.
a good variety of radius corners and straightaway pieces, along with the chicane piece.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, you can't make that
They
chicane piece 4-lane. It's kind of hard to do.
No, well, you can. They'll be offset slightly.
Yeah, they'll be offset a little bit, so it kind of.
But that's probably the best clip together track to go with. I know Audible does connect to it, but they do have different pin depths, so you're going to have an issue.
Yeah.
Going from AFX to the
Auto World track.
The Auto World track, there'll be a pin depth difference there. It's not much, but I think it's enough that you can't use it. You're just gonna have to make sure your pins are the right length.
But for any of you that do race, we take advantage anywhere we can.
Yeah, you want the
longest. Get that pin as low as possible.
Long as possible.
Well, long, low, same difference.
Yeah, you want to be using as much of that slot as you can use.
Yep. Get the most out of your car and its handling.
Well, excuse me.
Using Tyco right now. Yeah. When you're just trying to get into it, and if that's what you have, that's wonderful. I mean,
Tyco can be pretty good. You just got to make sure all the tabs are well cleaned and make sure they're bent just right to make your connections. But they are pretty good.
It can be made to run really good, but we're not hating on whatever anybody uses.
No.
We have a preference. The largest preference, obviously, being a routed track, but those are, as everybody knows, expensive, and not everybody has the ability to purchase one.
Kind of hard to, with what's been going on with routed tracks about Viper outsourcing theirs, how far Brad Bowman's backed up.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So as we learned recently, if you're looking to get a Brad routed track, a Bowman routed track, the waiting list is 3 years. But it is definitely worth it. Brad is one of the best the only hand routed track maker that I am aware of, because
still seeing some of it.
Some of it probably, but I do know he is one of the best track designers and makers that's out there for routed slot car tracks.
Plus, he'll do almost anything you want.
Exactly. You can give him your own design, and he will.
And he can actually form his track for elevation or corners or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What? Oh, Tyco. There's still a lot of it out there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pick up Tyco track almost anywhere, pretty much. Almost everybody has it, so it's still pretty plentiful. And I do believe that there's still some online hobby shops that carry pieces here and there.
Yeah,
if you look around,
you can get a hold of, because there's so much of it out there.
Yeah. There's no scarcity in Tyco track.
Yeah, just like there's no scarcity in 440 X2s. You can get them on eBay all the freaking time for a good price.
You can practically build one out of Jag Hobby's parts bins.
Well, and not just that, but Viper makes a lot of parts
they got to
for
make
them
a lot
too.
of Tyco parts too for the 440.
Yeah. Viper makes new old stock motors, motor magnets, traction magnets, springs, shoes, brushes. The only thing I don't think you can get from Viper is bare chassis.
No. Jag Hobbies, I think, has those. So
why no racing style banks on our track?
Because it's depends on the cars you're running. We run Frey cars and we run TFXs, which don't have traction magnets. Granted, you're lower to the racetrack and get a little bit of magnet pull from that. But if you use a really steeped bank corner, you can't run like you would be able to run a stock T-Jet.
Yeah.
Frey cars would kind of be okay, but you would have to have a lot of speed getting into it. You couldn't come off of a short corner and get into it and make enough speed to get around it. So that's kind of why ours is flat, and you'll see a lot of other racetracks, even routed tracks, are pretty flat or relatively lightly banked. You can't go like the old Monza corner from AFX or the what was the other corner from them? There was two banked corners, but they were pretty steep.
Yeah.
And trying to get a TJ, you would not be able to get a TJ around them. And
Yeah.
freight cars and TFXs might because they're a little faster. But that's why we don't use a banked corner because it limits the cars you can run from time to time.
And with how low we race some of our chassis,
Yeah.
they would clip on the banking. A banking on a routed track is completely different.
Well, it's smoother.
It's smoother. So those of you that might be that watch the lives and are racing and have a keen eye, you'll notice that that big sweeper corner on the end of the front straightaway on Stan's track is a banked corner.
But it's not very steep.
It's not very steep, but we do race steeper at the fray, and they do just fine. It's the track sections in the AFX banks that make it hard.
Yeah.
Bodies catch, front ends catch, pins catch. It can be difficult.
Weights, depending on what you're running front end wise on a freight car.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'll catch. You can't run a hanger weight on a front end on a freight car on a clip together track because they clip the front one to pull the swing hanger weight backwards and
they'll break the stopper on it. We've had a couple of failures like that.
Yeah, so you can't run them on a clip together track. You got to run the swooped weight in front end on a clip together track.
The RT230 by Rick Terry, HO Slot Car Parts. We have found that is the best performing and best to use on a clip together track fray style front end.
Yeah. If you're running a routed, then you can run the OS3 front ends and the other hanger weight front end from RTHO. So, but that's the reason why we don't have a lot of high bank corners on our track or on most clip together tracks. There's a few. I mean, I think Dave had a couple on his Price. That last one.
He did. He had.
But they run all magnet. They run all magnet cars anyways. So
he changed it a few times throughout the time that track was up, though.
Right. Typically, if you're running a banked track, you're going to be running magnet cars.
Yeah.
Which we run. We run so many different cars. We like to keep our options open so we can run that many cars.
Yeah. We like to keep our options open. We like to make it to where we can run anything on the tracks that we have. But we're happy with the setup that is in the Slot Car Crazy home. And the other tracks that we race on, we usually don't have the problem with. But ours is the only clip together.
Right now it is.
Until I get mine.
Right now it is. We did have a couple others, but they're might be back, they might not. You never know.
Yeah, we'll have to see with that one.
We'll have to see with those. So, time will tell.
Time will tell. But moving on from that talk, we did hint at something during our last Q&A at the very end that we were very, very hopeful for, but unfortunately it looks like it might not happen and it might happen.
So there was and I don't know if you guys, if you've ever been on the Cat Spa Ring group page on Facebook. If you guys know what the Cat Spa Ring is, probably the biggest HO slot track on the West Coast. It was built by Brad Bowman for Greg Katz in San Francisco. When he passed away, Brad took it back as not an owner, but a curator of the track, and he's been looking for someone else to take possession of it because he needs the room for the slot car track business to make more room for what he does. And Cliff, one of our guys up here in the Northwest out of Portland, knows Brad, has gone down for that race to race there and on that track multiple times.
Was good friends with Greg Katz.
Yeah, I was good friends with Greg Katz. So was trying to get that track brought to the Northwest, which would have been really, really cool. And he wouldn't have been the owner of it. He'd been like what Brad is to it now, which is a curator of the track. But it kind of looks like there might be a guy who owns a car dealership purchasing it from back east, but that's not been hasn't happened. The track just doesn't sit.
Right.
And become like a showpiece, because that's not what that track's about. It's about being raced on. So.
It is a race track.
So hopefully that all gets worked out. If it goes back east, it goes back east. If you guys Google it if you haven't ever Googled it, Google it on Google and just Google the Kaz Spa ring, and you'll get pictures of it.
KATZ Spa SPA.
Yeah. And you'll be able to see some pictures of it and whatnot. It is a huge racetrack. It's 31 feet long, 10 feet wide, and has a run length of 171 feet, just over 171 feet. Mm-hmm. And it has about a 13-inch, I would say 13-inch change from the front of the table to the back of the table.
Huge elevation change.
If you check out the Cat Spa Ring group page on Facebook as well. He put up some pictures from the 24-hour race, and you can tell the guys that are standing on the front straightaway where the driver station are. The track hits about just right below the knee, and then if you look on the backside of its highest point, it hits right about below your chest. So you're looking at about 13 inches total.
Yep.
So it's a really cool racetrack.
Gorgeous track.
Go check that out.
It's not a showpiece for those of you that are in our world and race just like us. It is a racetrack.
It's got some cool scenery on it and stuff, but it is a racetrack. And Brad's trying to make sure it still gets used
remains
as
that
such.
way.
He doesn't want it ended up like some of these slot mods tracks that just get stuffed away in somebody's car collection and don't really get used. Good day!
World of Toys.
Welcome to the stream.
Where do you come from? Where do you hail from? Where are you watching from?
$50, it's Australia.
Hey, let's not. Thank you.
He's a boober. He's my boy.
Australia.
Yep. How's the HO scene over there and down under? Is it strong?
Growing.
I know there's quite a few groups down there, but I'm not sure where everybody's located there from those groups in Australia. So you might know where the.
Good. We are very well aware of how big the 32nd and 24 scale scene is down there.
Yeah. So.
A lot of kangaroos.
A lot of kangaroos. Yeah, so it's I've been noticing though. It seems like the HO side down there has been growing. So
that's good to see. That's good.
Hopefully they can. I know that's a big country, and I know a lot of the big cities are kind of spread all over the place. So.
Yes, on the coast.
Yeah, so it's probably kind of hard for some of them to find places to race with. Yeah, it's cool to see the growth of the HO side of things.
Yeah, it's been growing a lot lately. It's been
around the world.
Around the world, it's grown a lot in our immediate area, the areas that we can get to by car within a day. Yeah, it's been growing strong. We've had a lot of good racing in our group together and out and about.
Yeah, we're just trying to get our local group to be a little larger than what it is.
Yep, just trying to find what we can here and there.
Yep. A little hard without a hobby store.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get there. That's a struggle for everybody, though. But if you can find a bunch and you're within earshot travel distance of them, it's worth going.
Yes.
Definitely.
Most groups that I know about they're full of good people. If you show up without anything, people will be fighting over who gets to give you a car and a controller, have a good time, race with them. I know Fosar does that. You can show up to Fosar. They'll get you a car. They'll get you a controller. You'll have fun.
Well, they have house
You'll
controllers.
be competitive. So. Yes, they have house controllers, so that's.
Don't have to worry about
that. But
yeah.
somebody will get you a car. You'll be competitive. We're working our way towards being able to do that within our own group. But that's what this is all about: is getting together, having a good time, racing, making friends. Yep. Improving your skills, because it does take skill to do this, both in knowing how to tune and driving, but all in all, it's about the fun. Fun and friend making. I can tell you that I'm only 22, but I've made a lot of friends through this group, through slot car racing. Most of them are at the age index of 30 and up, but I ain't complaining about it. It's a wonderful hobby to be a part of. It's a lot of fun to do, and if you're into racing, it's not that expensive.
No, it's cheaper than a real car.
It's a lot cheaper than a real car. A lot of good fun.
It could be just as technical as a real car too.
Yes, and competitive. It can be very, very competitive.
Yeah, the attention to detail you have to have when you're racing at a level, especially a whole pack level, to make sure the car's 100% is a premium.
Yep.
You got to make sure it's done right. Found that out last weekend.
Yes, unfortunately.
But it is what it is. You live and learn, and you move on from there. Hello, Boost Punks. What's up?
Howdy, howdy.
Oh, get up here. What does see if we got a bunch of people on here. What does everybody race on a consistent basis out there that's on right at the moment?
Yes.
What are you guys racing mostly? Or are you just kind of just working around your own little shop there, working on your whatever cars you have?
Yeah.
We pretty much race almost. Well, we've got 6 classes in our own class. Any idea how many different classes
we're
involved in? That we're involved in? Oh. Well, we run so locally we run the Auto World Thunderjet Ultra G stock. You can run any rear or front tire as long as it fits the stock hub. Yep. That's one class. The second class is Frey cars, which we run Frey in the Ferndale rules. That's the race that we go to every March. So we run their rule set. The other class we run is an unlimited T-Jet.
Thank you, David.
It is basically there is no rules in that class. There is five criteria the car has to meet. Basically, just tic-tac kind of stuff. It has to fit the tech block. The chassis cannot protrude through the body because we don't want any funky looking. It's got to look like a real car, a real race car.
We still want it to look like a race car.
Yeah, we still want it to look like a race car. 5, you cannot add any weight or traction magnets to the car. It's got to be pure on whatever downforce you can get out of whatever chassis you're using. Has to be a pancake arm. It doesn't matter the ohm or what. It can be a 2 ohm arm if you can make it run for 3 minutes. Actually, it's not 3 minutes. It's 12 minutes, all 4 lanes. But and then the other rule is the other criteria is it can either be a new old stock T-Jet, any dash chassis as long as it's not a Mondo Grip, or the TFX car or a WizJet chassis. That's the only things you have to fit for that class. Everything else is whatever you want to do. If you want to make that a big Swiss cheese out of the chassis, go right ahead. That's up to you. Those are our 3 pancake classes. The other classes we run are DK4, Jag DK4 cars with wide tires all the way around and a Late model sportsman, if you guys kind of know what that is, stock car body. So basically anything that runs in a local paved oval on a Saturday night kind of thing. That class might be changed next season. The next class is M chassis, either a lifelike or a Rocore. Stock, you can run any rear wheel and tire you want, but it has to be on the stock axle with the stock gear. And then you can run any body except the IndyCar. And then, of course, we run BSRT G3s like we do in Hopac. So those two correspond with those. And then we, of course, run the Fray car at the Fray. If we go to Portland on a regular weekend, they run stock TFXs. Any body you want, as long as it's a posted body, but no Fray bodies. They run Tyco 44X2s with NASCAR bodies or a lifelike with NASCAR body. They mix those together. They run them together. So whatever you want to choose there. They're running AFX Mega G Plus cars with a it's not sports car. It's muscle car body. Right? Yeah, with a muscle car body. So the Camaro, the Mustang, the Chevelle, that class. What else do they run? And then they also have a special class that they change every weekend. Yeah. They pick make a car, and then you have to build the car to run to that performance. Actually, they raced today down there at Jim's house. Today's specialty class was a 4-gear Auto World car.
Oh, with dragster body.
With dragster body. So I bet you that was kind of funky to watch.
I bet you it was.
But, so for sure. That's basically what we run. So it's all over the map.
Yeah. So to give you a number, probably about 10, but total. 7 more regularly, because we're not always able to get down and run with Portland on a regular.
And we occasionally change our classes from season to season. Typically, lately it's just been one class here and there.
Yeah.
Next year, more than likely, we're going to be changing the Auto World Thunderjet Ultra Gs because we've ran them for the last 3 seasons. So that class will be up for change. And we're kind of thinking going with the X-Traction cars, just because we've never messed around with those hardly.
And to keep it within the realm of you can walk
cheap and affordable.
Cheap and affordable. You can walk into the store and
pick one up for $20.
And if you get a shitty one, you can walk back to the store and pick another one.
Or you can buy a pit kit and only pay $12.
Exactly, and build it yourself and possibly get more performance out of it.
Yeah, yes. And then the DK4 car is probably the other car we're going to change. And it'll either be, the body will be the same, or we're either going to go with the dash cam chassis that they have, or something else along those lines.
Personally, my vote is to keep the body the same.
No, it will be the same.
I like the look of the stock car body. It's definitely our prettiest class.
Yeah, because it's also the class that we do the most custom work in. So.
Yeah, the most custom paint work in. Yeah. So we like that look a lot. He's just, but lot of new stuff coming for our next season. We're currently in our first of 2 holiday breaks for the CWCC. Yes, the different classes make it a lot more fun.
Makes it harder to drive too, because it takes a different technique.
Exactly, different driving technique, and then it just helps you improve your knowledge on all the different cars that are out there and how you can make them fast. Because
each one is different.
Each one is different. Because in Auto World, Thunderjet requires a lot different tuning than a typical Aurora or cloned Aurora T-Jet. They're along the same basis. They're technically a clone, but still different.
Build quality and whatnot. So, and they're not quite all. They're not. Not every Auto World car is assembled the same.
Fuck no.
So it's one might need. One might be. You may get one right out of the package that is really really fast. And you might get one right out of the package that's crap, and you try and tune it, and it's still crap. Or you get one that's crap out of the package, and you get it tuned up, and it flies like nothing.
Yep.
So it's all
They require a lot of help.
yeah, they do require a lot of help,
Yeah.
and there is some tricks here and there that you can do to make them quicker. We've covered some of them in the Tech Tip Tuesdays, and when we set up my car last season, I gave you guys some of the tech tips on that car to make it a little faster and a little better.
Yeah, exactly, Slots. Sometimes you can just be better at tuning in one class than another. I know a couple of our guys have that issue. Stan can't get a DK4 to run worse shit.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of tuning required in DK4s. It's just a lot of weight distribution.
Weight and your shoe adjustment on that car.
But Stan can't get one of those cars set up real good worse shit. That's why he hates that class.
There's also people that are great builders and terrible racers.
Yes, absolutely.
or that are great racers but can't build a car to save their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all different around, depending on what your strong suit is.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, the only swap meet we have here in the Northwest is at the Oregon Invitational. We have a bunch of people that bring a bunch of stuff for that, and that's about it. Most of the big slot car swap meets are on the East Coast or Midwest.
Yeah,
which kind of sucks.
At the Fray, you can buy parts, but all the parts are all Fray related.
Unless Philzy's there and he's got a bunch of stuff he can buy.
That's mostly just full stuff.
Yeah, full cars and whatnot. That's about it for us on the West Coast. There is not a big swap meet out here at all. I know there's a couple big ones coming up here soon on the East Coast, but we're kind of limited when it comes to slot car swap meets, which kind of sucks. Which would be nice if somebody could figure out how to have one and make one successful.
I will go ahead and answer this question just because it keeps coming up and it's kind of funny. But no, slot car racing does not get you women. You have to find the right woman to let you do this. Because if you tell them, yeah, I'm a slot car champion, and you explain to them that it's racing Hot Wheel sized cars, or a little bigger if you race the bigger cars, they're going to laugh at you.
You got the right ones, though.
They're out there. They're absolutely out there. For sure. But no, you have to find the right woman that lets you do this. And most likely the entire time she'll still see you as just racing little toy cars. But
doesn't matter. If she still respects that you do it and that it's something fun for you, then great. But you can't get women doing this. Definitely not. Yeah, because there's not a lot of them out there racing.
No.
There's a few here and there, but
here and there.
Not in our local area, though.
But it is kind of a funny question, and I thought I'd answer it.
But believe it or not, 90% of the people that you see on our channel racing are married. And have kids. Some of them race, some of them don't.
I and Shaden and Aiden are really the only ones.
Yeah.
Aside from Bruce and Chad.
Oh, yeah.
Trump. But
yeah. So
aside from that,
yeah,
not a whole lot of the kids race, but no, yeah, a lot of the guys that you see on our lives and on our channels, they're
speaking slot cars. Didn't go in Spanish. Hey, cool.
Yep. And I'm lucky enough to have one that does, but it was also one of those things where in the beginning I put my foot down and said I will do this.
Oh yeah. This is what I do, this is what I love, and I'm going to do it.
Yep. But
hopefully everybody out there has a good source to race if you're into it. If you're into actually racing or
but if you don't, we have a lot of information on a lot of the groups out there. You can ask questions and we can do our best. You can tell us where you're located and we can do our best to get you in contact or tell you how to get into contact with somebody who's relatively close.
Some cases you might have to do a little traveling. Depending on how, diehard you are about wanting to race.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're kind of lucky here being where we're at. I mean, we got the Hopat guys which run in Seattle and Portland. Seattle's only 2 hours away, Portland's only 3. So we're kind of lucky. And then we got the Fozar group down there that we race with, and of course they're only 3 hours away. So
Yep.
I'm willing to make a 6 hour drive round trip to race slot cars.
Yes, but it's all about how willing you are to make the drive to do it.
Yeah.
If you really want to. But like my dad said, we're really lucky to be kind of smack dab in the middle, have our own group as well.
Yeah, have a local group. And
oh. That's funny, Slots. That's funny.
Compton, an event with yeah, so it's hopefully you guys are near a large metropolitan area, because typically the bigger groups are around larger metropolitan areas. You might be lucky enough to find a small local group. We do know of a few. Most of them are West Coast, because that's where we are. We're here in Central Washington's our group. There's the Hopat guys, which are Seattle, Portland. There was another group in the Seattle area, but I don't think they're doing much anymore.
I don't think so.
There's a group in Spokane that runs both HO and 32nd, but I don't think they're overly serious when it comes to racing. It's more about just getting together and running cars, which is cool. We've been trying to get a couple of them to come race with us, but it just hasn't happened yet. Of course, you got the greater Portland area with Fozar. So if you're in Vancouver, Portland, Salem's only an hour down the road. I mean, hell, Daryl drives from Roseburg, which is 3 hours on the other way than where we are. So he makes that run up. If you're in California, you've got the Bay Area guys. Mitch Vader, those guys in the greater, they have several tracks in the Bay Area. San Francisco, Sacramento, that area, there's quite a few racing there. If you Southern California, I'm not sure about the LA area. I'm not sure what's going on with if there's anything in the LA area. HO wise, I know they've got Electric Dreams in Huntington Beach? No. But they've got that with so there's racing there. I know there's a couple other hobby stores around the LA area. I just can't think of the name of it, but they're all running 32nd scale. Brad Bowman is in the greater San Diego area, and I'm not sure if there's a group outside of him around there. There's a good group in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Glenn Gordon and them guys who are in the Phoenix, Peoria, Scottsdale area. They have a group page on Facebook for, I think it's Phoenix Slot Car Racers of some sort. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you can look them up. Is there anything? I know there's a little bit of HO in the Vegas area.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, that's where Lisa, Randy, and what's his face is also living in that area now. They're about a half an hour outside of Vegas.
Slots. We're not too far from Forest, and we got a good bit in our town of trees, but
we're about a half an hour from
sure what you mean by that.
We're only about a half an hour from Forest.
Good Forest,
yeah.
As the snow starts rolling in.
If you got to the west from us, you can see snow already.
Yep.
So driving might get a little treacherous from here on out till the spring.
We're done with our travel racing. It's just
till after the first of the year, anyway.
Well, we'll see you later, Darren. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. We'll be doing another podcast next month on the 28th. This is going to become a monthly thing where we talk about news and events and just answering questions.
General slot cars. Yep.
Racing cars and answering questions.
Yep.
Jupiter and Kenai.
This is Kenai. They're brother and sister. Boston Terriers. There are our doggos.
Yep. Car shop dogs.
Yep. Slot car shop dogs.
They're usually around when we're racing.
Let's see. What else would be a good topic to talk
about? Well, I guess we'll get on to answering any questions you got. If you don't have any, then...
Oh, we've been up for about an hour. Let's see what we got going here. So yeah, it's haven't bought anything. Well, other than that AFX car, that's probably my newest car.
Yeah.
Haven't bought anything out of the ordinary. I got to get a couple of chassis to do reviews of. The new Dash Magna Traction style chassis. I want to do a review of that. Of course, the new Auto World chassis when we can finally get a hold of one. Definitely want to do a review of that. What else did I see? I thought I saw something else the other day that I think I needed to pick up to do a review of. I think there's still a couple of Jag chassis we haven't done reviews for.
That new Dash chassis with the can arm.
Yeah, with the can arm. Yeah, we need to do a review of that.
Yeah.
There's two Jags chassis.
A lot of Jags chassis that he's come out with. We haven't done reviews of. Only the ones that I've purchased.
He's gotten another. I think there's another can motor car coming out from him too, but it's more of a magnet style car than T-Jet style. We'll have to keep an eye out for that.
See you, Darren.
Yep.
Thanks for watching and talking with us.
Large buildings on the track obstruct your view. That's part of the charm of racing on this racetrack. Once you get to know the track, they don't really affect your driving that much.
Our immediate regular group races our track well. They're used to the buildings, but that is definitely a point of the track is the buildings on scenery. But once you get to know the track and figure out your braking zones, they're really not a problem. And if anything, you can use the buildings to your advantage with braking points.
They're not really blocking your view too much in certain parts where you know where to stop and how far you're in. So it's and it varies from driver station to driver station too. So it makes it more interesting to drive. I wanted to see the racetrack. I've always wanted to see the racetrack. I always wanted a city circuit. I didn't want to go, overly huge, but I did want something kind of unique, kind of Monaco-esque in its design. But nobody complains. I've got people that come out of town that come and race on it, and they don't complain. So it's
in fact, some people think it's pretty cool.
Yep. So, but yeah, once you get the track down and once you know where you need to let off and where you can get back on it again, it's actually fairly. You can start using the buildings to your advantage of knowing where to let off and where to get back on the throttle. It kind of works like brake markers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
thanks for the subscription, David.
Yeah.
You can go through the channel and go to the playlists and find all the bi-weekly featured cars.
Yep.
Those are mixed. Mine, my dad's, Shaden's as well, which is my little brother. My father's youngest, who also races with us. He's just not doing the podcast with us.
He has a friend over tonight. So.
But number one winning car, that would have to depend on class.
Yep.
But a lot of us have only one car for each class. A couple guys in our group have more than one. But if I would have to pick from all of my cars, it would have to be my BSRT G3. Which we've done close reviews on. My dad's done tuning work videos on them, but that car helped me win my first slot car championship. In fact, I came home with the plaque this last weekend for my first championship in the amateur class, which now moves me up to the pro class with Hopak, which is about 40 to 45 strong. On our best weekend this year, Hopak had 30, but according to our race runner and organizer, he said that all year long we were missing quite a few pro racers. So the typical group, counting the new guys that came this year, is about 40 to 45 strong. So it's a very good racing group to race with in the Northwest. And if you are located anywhere in the Northwest, Washington, Idaho, Oregon, it is absolutely worth coming and racing. If you're in Oregon, your best chance is in the fall races in Portland. In the spring, we run in Seattle. And if you are from Idaho, it is a little hard for both, especially Oregon, because you have the longest drive, absolutely. But we would love to see you come and race with us if you're in the Pacific Northwest. If you're new, if you're not, Hopak, you can show up to Hopak. We have multiple guys that'll give you a really good car, something really good for you to be competitive with. In fact, we had a new guy at our last run that showed up, never raced with Hopak. He was a big car racer, 132nd, 124. Thank you, Slots. He showed up, he was given a car, he was given a controller, and he kicked butt. But Hopak's a wonderful, wonderful group to race with. Don't need to show up with anything. Eventually, they will ask you to buy a car, especially if you're big into it. But a lot of groups that you can run into, they won't tell you to come back with money or come back with cars and a controller. They will see you into the group, give you something to run with, give you a controller to run with, and have a good time. And you can find out whether or not it's something you want to be into or not.
Well, that's true. We don't race with anybody really that asks for money, except for Hopak, but that's different.
That is a little different, but, because Hopak is probably the most organized group in the Northwest.
But, we don't ask for money when you race. Fozar doesn't ask for money. We just ask. Both our groups asked if just bring something for munching on. To share with the group, and that's it.
Just bring some food, a snack, something to drink, to share with everybody. Because we try and have some snacks all the time for us to have while we race. But yeah, all right, it's my turn.
Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, yes. I'm a huge Ferrari fan. Always have been, probably always ever will. Hopak is basically stands for HO Pacific Northwest is basically what Hopak stands for. It's a group that was put together by Gary Beadle, who is the owner of BSRT way back in the day. They've been around for a really long time, so that's basically, it's called Hopak, so I assume it's HO Pacific Northwest Racing or something like that. But they're a great group of guys from all over the greater Portland area, the greater Seattle area. So they're a great group of guys to race with. They know a lot, and they really help everybody out as well. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff on the channel. It's all broken on playlists by make a car, so it's easy to find whatever you're working on, whether it's Aurora, AFX, Auto World. So it's easy to find stuff on the channel to be able to find out what you're working on. And plus, there's also some other stuff on track layouts and scenery and getting to know your slot car and tuning your slot car and all that good kind of stuff. So we try to cover as much as, because there's so much stuff out there to tune and work on and all that good kind of stuff. So yeah, it's getting chilly outside, man. But yeah, that's hope the channel helps everybody in a whatever way you're looking for. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys and promote this wonderful, wonderful hobby of HO slot car racing.
Did you answer Slot's question there?
Which one?
HOPAC. What does HOPAC stand
Yeah,
for?
yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know I did. I'm assuming it's HO Pacific Northwest. HO Professional...
HO Professional Association of Racers.
There we go.
Yes. No, HOPAC.
PAC.
PAC. Oh, crap.
I don't think it's on the thing. I think it just says HOPAC. Is it on the sticker? That's just a Great Northwest Tour. Where's the what's on the HOPAC sticker? Do you still have your HOPAC sticker on your box? It was on the backside.
HO Pacific Association.
Pacific. I knew the P standed for Pacific.
HO Pacific Association Championship, maybe. I'll have to ask and get the full answer on that one.
Yeah, we're not really sure.
But HOPAC is absolutely an acronym. So is FOSAR and ours Chahor. Although we can't find one that works really, really well, unfortunately.
FOSAR is probably the best.
FOSAR and HOPAC is pretty good, but...
Well, when you live in a place that, the letters all work out.
Yeah.
When you live in central Washington, you really can't come up with a good acronym.
Yeah, CWA. I just go CWHOR when I'm naming off ours.
Yeah, because it's Chahor, but it's
CWH.
CWHOR, so
It's
Central Washington
definitely
HO
weird.
Racers. I know there's a lot of them that use the HOR, though, out there, because it's HO Racers, so...
Yeah.
A bunch of the guys back in the Midwest all use that acronym for whatever, and then they have their city in the front of it.
Yep.
Some work better than others.
Some work better than others, and unfortunately,
we didn't want to use Yakima because Y is not very.
No, we couldn't use.
And it doesn't. You can't really pronounce it.
Yep.
So yeah.
But yeah. You can learn a lot of information off of this channel, David, if you're looking to get into it.
There's also several others out there that you can check out. I know a couple of them haven't done a lot of stuff in a while, but well, Jim doesn't really do a lot. He does more racing stuff than he does anything else. But check out oh shit, I'm drawing blanks here.
You're not helping right now.
I know I'm not helping. I'm drawing huge blanks. Just look on the YouTube channel. I have a whole bunch of channels listed on the homepage there. Everybody has great information there too, so go check those channels out as well. A lot of great info there. Some of it's, a couple of them, like RC's Wizard, is a lot of his stuff's based on his products. So, and then also a couple other channels are basically product channels, but they do some great work on tuning and whatnot. So go check those guys out as well.
But if you are looking to go to a race, do some racing yourself, David. If you comment where you're at now, we might be able to point you in a place, or you can contact Slot Cars or Back page on Instagram. That is myself, or the Slot Car Crazy Instagram page, which is my father Troy, and we can try and get you connected with a group to run with and check out the hobby and see if it's something that you're interested in doing. But we definitely encourage you to try and go. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people you'll meet are all good people, fun people to be around.
Yeah, you'll find. So it's in some places you might even be lucky. You might even have a hobby shop locally that still has a track and still hosts races.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a few out there that still do. I know there's a couple down in the Florida area that do. I think there's still a shop in Vegas that still does it too on occasions. So there's also, I mean, depending on what you want to get into, there's also quite a bit of 30-second scale stuff out there too. But we're primarily HO because that's what we race.
Yep. We primarily know a lot of the HO groups.
Yeah.
Yep. And we We continue to
Oh.
educate ourselves.
Oh, that's right.
Go ahead.
NoCal Slot Car Scene was one I was trying to think of.
Ah, gotcha.
Jim Rose's channel.
Yes.
He does both HO and 30-second scale, so. But he's got a lot of HO content on there, too.
But we continue to educate ourselves on the groups that are out there and
Yep,
the
just
products
try it.
that are out there, because that is our goal to you guys, and our mission to you guys is to connect you with as much slot car information and people as possible to help get you integrated into this hobby.
Yeah.
She picked up a setup block from HCS. Do you know who that is?
Hayden Creek.
Hard Click Stock Cars.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He is the one that owns Lifelike, the rights to Lifelike.
He also owns the right to the name Tyco now, too.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Not the right to the products, but he has the right to the name.
Gotcha. Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of East Coast racers.
There is a lot of East Coast racing out there.
I think there's a couple of groups around Philly.
Right, and being in Pennsylvania, he is not too far from the Coral location. Maybe about 5-6 hour drive max.
I don't know. That's in Wisconsin, Milwaukee area. But yeah, there is a few groups in in Pennsylvania area.
Yes.
I know Philadelphia has a few. I'm not sure how big they are or how open they are to new people, but you might check that out. Basically, I think you can Google groups in Facebook. Just Google Pennsylvania slot car groups, and it should come up, I think. That would be a good place to start, because there's a lot of groups that have Facebook pages.
A lot of groups have
So
Facebook
that's a good
pages.
place to start, and you can find out where you're.
Yeah.
If there's any close to you where you can actually get to them.
But being in Pennsylvania, I do believe that you are close to. You might have to drive, but you are relatively close to.
Depending on
some groups.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And depends on how close he is to Boston. Leanjet Raceway's in the
Oh yes, this is in the Boston area. Yes.
Boston suburbs.
Yes, and Leanjet holds.
He holds some huge races.
And some fairly consistent
And he's
stuff.
got some really cool racetracks in there. He's got I think 6 HO tracks in there. Something like that. So that's
so that'd be a really great place to start, is looking up Leanjet Raceway on Instagram, Facebook, or on Google, and you should be able to see how close you are. But he's got a lot of tracks, and he holds a lot of events.
Yeah, they've had the Hopper Nationals there a couple of times.
Do you know how Leanjet's spelled?
I know it's Len. I don't know if it's Jet or if it's all. I think it's all one word. Lengjjet. Yeah.
Yes. So it is spelled Lenjet, Len.
Len.
Jet Raceway, HO Slot Car Raceway. If you put it in, even if you spell it wrong, first it came up for me on Google.
Google. Yeah, and it's I'm not sure what the suburb is. Doesn't show. Maybe does it show down there? No. Trying to see what the suburb name is. It's the greater Boston area, but it's a suburb of Boston. Eastern Championships photos. That's just a Purple Mile talking about the tracks and whatnot. But yeah, it's a good place to go. We actually met the owner at the Fray last year, so.
Happy birthday to Jasmine.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Oh, that slot cars are involved.
Yep.
Slot cars
Somehow,
and
in
birthdays
some way,
go
form, or
together.
fashion.
Awesome.
Yep. They're out there, Dave. You just got to find them. You should say in there somewhere where they're at. I can't remember the name of the suburb. Because I know it's not down, it's not within the Boston city limits. I know it's a suburb of Boston. I just can't quite remember what the name of the suburb is.
Ashland.
Ashland, Maryland. And I think that is west, a suburb west of Boston.
Yeah. Ashland, Maryland.
Yeah. So that's a good start. And I think they race pretty much almost anything as far as I know.
Just because the phone gets a relatively good picture. Here's some of the immediate pictures on his website there. You can't see the track super good, but
yeah, just
a
type
mix
in
of
that and it should
HO
be the
and
first thing that pops
124
up on your
tracks.
Google search.
But Ashland, Maryland, don't know how far you are, but it's a wonderful place to start. He's got all of the events up for all year long. He doesn't have 2025 schedules up yet, but I'm assuming after the first of the year, sometime in the spring, he'll have a new schedule up. You'll be able to see when to go, and I'm absolutely sure you can show up with absolutely nothing and be put on a track with somebody.
And there'll be a lot of people that help. They've got a lot of good racers around that area. Some of them we've met at the fray, so.
Yes. Yep. And you can meet people from all over the world doing this too.
Yep. There's people from all over, right? England, Australia, like we said earlier. There's Japan. There's all over the place. It's great it's great to meet people. And there's people that live in the States that come from other countries that race slot cars too, like Cliff.
Yep. Indeed.
So
a lot of friends to be made, a lot of people to meet.
Yep.
It's a wonderful all-around hobby. We know people that aren't even into racing that love to do this, so it's a good thing to do. You get a lot of fun.
Okay. So we're gonna
wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We've been on for an hour and 17, so we're gonna hit it. Dinner's probably getting close. And like Elisha said, we'll be back on with another live the 28th of next month. So after Christmas, there is a video coming out tomorrow, a bi-weekly feature car. So check that out. It's one of Elijah's cars. So check that out tomorrow. Next weekend, like I said, I don't know if I said it earlier. I do say it in tomorrow's video, but we're going to be tearing apart the Mega G next week. Not sure if we're going to have the parts to put back in it yet. I still got to make that order. But be on the lookout for that. We'll definitely get it torn down, and we can show you guys how to take apart a Mega G car, which is my first time doing it too. So we'll work out some techniques and whatnot to tear it apart. So
be looking for that.
So be on the lookout for that. Remember to check the Crash of the Week on Thursdays, the Monday walk-arounds, and the Saturday speed shot. Our next live race will be the 15th of next month in December. We'll be back here at our track running Auto World Thunderjet Ultra Gs and the Jag DK4 cars. And jeez,
bless you.
I had to take my allergy pills. And haven't thought of what promoter's choice will be quite yet, but we'll figure that out down the road.
Yep.
So
there'll be some good racing. We're hoping for a bit more than usual.
Yep.
But some good racing, some good action, some good watching.
Yep. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. We're out. Catch you later. Bye.
Thanks for watching.